Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Solo No More. Let me just tell you, today I kind of want to dive into where I'm at with this new brand launch and pivoting captured media. It has been a whirlwind, in the best way, but I've also found that, you can make posts all you want about if I were to start over, this is what I would do differently. You can make those posts all you want, but when you are actually faced with with actually starting over, it can be really overwhelming. I've made an Instagram for the new brand. I decided on a name. It's called Hold My Mimosa. I had some help in the process of doing that because Reese and I brainstormed and then I put it through. I have a broadcast channel on my personal Instagram called Biz Construction Crew. And so I got some feedback. But so, new business called Hold My Mimosa. I am still playing and dinking around with what the brand colors will be. I'll probably hire someone to help me because I just cannot make a decision to save my life on it to create a palette. I have decided on some basic, like a couple, not a couple, I mean a couple fonts, so a font pairing. I got the domain for Hold My Mimosa. I created a Google Workspace. I created an email alias for myself because I had a Google Workspace for Captured Media, and I still do, but I had the hello@capturedmedia.com email, and then I had Catrice at capturedmedia.com. And I don't mind paying for more licenses, but right now I am really more so working with subcontractors. So, like, I'm considered a contractor in most people's businesses. And so I'm really working with a lot of subcontractors. And it's not really me having anyone full time on my team or someone who's like people who are regularly working within my business. So it's really me managing all the inboxes, but I did create a hello@holdmymimosa.com. And then I just created an email alias for myself. So really, I'm using one email for myself. Like the Catrice at capturedmediapnw.com email is my email. And then I created an alias that then when you email Catrice at holdmymimosa.com, it just sends to the same email. I had to kind of do a little bit of research to get that sorted to figure out how that was going to work because I didn't necessarily want to pay for more licenses if I didn't have to. And something that I realized as I've started this process is how I can totally see why it's so overwhelming to a new business owner to have to pay for a bunch of different subscriptions. Like when I first started, like in the entrepreneurial realm, I had a 9 to 5 job. And so I had this extra income I was making. I think I was making 3 to 3.5K a month from my 9 to 5. And I was living at home at the time. So like I didn't have a lot of bills. So it was just really easy to throw cash at the business. And then, when I lost my 9 to 5 job and I had to kind of reevaluate, it was, I don't know, it just seemed much easier than this initial like staring at Squarespace, needing to buy domains and then Google Workspace license. And then what else have I had to pay for? Oh, I haven't paid for it yet, but I do have a new Flowdesk subscription. So then I can have 2 different email lists and be able to manage that. I could do it through one, but ultimately what I learned in this process, this has also been like a really fun, like learning more about platforms. What I've learned in this process is that you can have 2 email senders per Flowdesk account. And so right now, Reese and I, funny enough, Reese and I are actually using the Captured Media Flowdesk as like our like wedding email list. Right now, that is being used for our wedding stuff and then also Captured Media. But then I just made a new one. And also a nice thing is that I will say if you are going to be starting a new brand and you want to kind of go that serial entrepreneurial route, make sure you're using your own affiliate links. So like you're spending money, but like girl math, you're also making money. That's what I told Reese the night that I spent like $100 and I was paying for Google Workspace, domains, and I think that was primarily what I spent money on. And then I had signed up for my free trial using my affiliate link for Flowdesk, but I like told Teresa, I was like, I just spent $100. But at the same time, I also just made like $19 off of my Flowdesk. So there's that. And I can see why it's overwhelming because there's a lot of things. I'm really glad that, as far as I know right now, HoneyBook does not limit how many brands you can have under your HoneyBook. So I will just be making a new brand under HoneyBook instead of creating a totally different HoneyBook account. So I'm able to save a little bit of money there, but I can totally see, because like it adds up so fast. Like I spent $100 one night just doing domains and Google Workspace stuff. So yeah, I have also found it kind of difficult to make content for Hold My Mimosa, because I feel like what I'm finding is I used to be, not that I used to be, I'm really great at creating content. Really good at creating content. I love creating content. But I have to have like a purpose for it, is kind of where I'm at right now. Like there has to be there has to be a goal. Kind of like I have an agenda, but like there has to be like a goal. And like right now it's going to start getting easier because I've ironed out kind of what the launch plan looks like for Hold My Mimosa's offers. We are going to, I'm going to try to utilize the email list way more than I have in the past for Captured Media. That's my goal going into 2025. Something in the last 3 months, email list, I've been shown the benefits of, having an email list for a really long time. I struggled to grow my email list and I didn't really see. Now I have a much better grasp on how to do email marketing and how to, run actual sale campaigns and those types of things. So I am going to be announcing Hold My Mimosa's offers via my email list first. So in November, the email list will learn about 2 offers. The public will learn about 1. So that's November. And 1 will be mid-month and 1 will be towards the end, closer to Black Friday. And then I think it won't be until probably January, maybe February, that I reveal the next one. And then it probably won't be till May, June-ish that I announce the following program after that. My thought is I'm going to have 4 core programs or offerings. They're not all programs. Let me just tell you, one of the offers is probably the most expensive offer, most highest ticket offer I've ever put out into the world to say this is how much it's going to cost to like be part of this, which is a little scary. It's going to be like a 5-figure investment. Like, oh my gosh. But I have ultimately decided that I want to have an offer for each kind of stage. If we're going to look at stages in terms of like there being 3 stages, like beginner, intermediate, and advanced in terms of being an entrepreneur. So that's where we're at that. So where was I going? Really, when it comes to creating content, though, I have found, like, I was on a coaching call with my coach, Megan. It was a group coaching call, and I was telling her, I was like, I'm struggling to create content. And right now, what I'm doing is the last episode, I talked about, all the businesses that I'm going to be doing. What I'm doing is I'm gradually adding on more. So right now, I'm doing Captured Media and Hold My Mimosa, and then I'm also working on my personal account. The next one that I start working on will probably be mine and Reese's account. And then I'm going to start working on Thriving Human. My goal is that I would love to get to a point where I'm posting at least once on once a week on Thriving Human, once a week on mine and Reese's modeling account, and then probably once a week on my personal. I feel like I want to get to a point though where I am posting a reel Monday through Friday, so like 5 reels a week for Hold My Mimosa and for Captured Media, because ultimately the thing is that you don't need to be posting every day to grow, but it's shown, there is data to show that the more you post, the faster you grow. I really do need to grow the Hold My Mimosa account. I will say, it's been a little tough getting used to seeing a follower count that's less than 100. Not that followers truly matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, this may not happen, this could happen, but by the end of the week, I could sign 100K worth of like contracts. But I have less than 50 followers on Hold My Mimosa right now. So that's kind of where we are. But what I'm finding as I'm starting over is that it's so overwhelming because I know what I didn't know back then when I first started, and now that I know all these things, I'm like, where do I even begin now that I know exactly what I need to do to build the brand that I want to, like my dream brand, my dream business, to be able to generate the income that I want. Like, it's so overwhelming because it's like I have so many ideas. And so I'm finding that I'm having to take a lot more steps back, finding that I'm resting a lot more and just giving myself time where I'm not on a screen, where I'm not scrolling, where I'm not consuming. And I'm just like allowing myself to just think and process and digest and take things in and really figure out what direction feels right. I hopped on a call today, actually. So I'm recording this on Monday, October 28th. I hopped on a discovery call today with a gal who does white labeling services, or white label services, not white labeling, but white label services. And essentially what that means is that she offers services like brand design, web design, graphic design, like Honeybook setup, like CRM setup, but primarily Honeybook. And she does it for other people under their business name. So for instance, like let's say that I have a client who needs an Instagram carousel designed, but I don't have time for it. She could do that for me, and it would still, like, it wouldn't be under her business name. It would still be I would retain my client, if that makes sense. So I had a call with her to discuss the white label services, but also to discuss having her set up some basic Honeybook things for me for Hold My Mimosa and potentially refine my own Honeybook. What I find, and this is something really common, especially amongst social media managers, like I see so many posts like, can anyone relate to putting so much time and effort into your client's Instagram account and then you haven't posted on your own account in like a month? I relate to that. I show up, like, in terms of Instagram, we all know I'm pretty freaking active. But when it comes to other things in my business, even though I love setting up Honeybook for my clients and I love putting together and scheduling out threads for my clients, I struggle to do that for myself. I struggle to be an employee for myself, if that makes sense. So I talked to her about it. I'm going to have her do it. I'm excited because it allows me to actually have more time and space to focus on other things. If she's going to take care of setting up my Honeybook workflows, I don't have to worry about that. I have more time to worry about other things like getting the flow desk ready to go, getting nurture sequences. I'm currently trying to decide what I'm going to have be like a lead magnet for the Hold My Mimosa email list, because right now for Captured Media, I have my 20 mistakes that photographers make on Instagram and how to fix them. I have that e-guide. And so I need something to be able to attract leads to grow the email list. So that is where I'm at with that. I realized as the week ended last week, as Friday hit, usually I send a weekly wind down email to the Captured Media list. And I was like, do I really want to send this? So I've also decided that I'm going to move towards monthly newsletters, just like nurture content, some high value, quick win content for Captured Media. I'm going to do that also for Hold My Mimosa's email list. And then I'm going to try to do weekly Substack posts and have that be like my personal email list where I do sprinkle in business updates, but I also am, talking about life and everything. Let me just tell you, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally really step into being a CEO of multiple businesses, to grow my team. I would imagine that by the end, not even by the end, I think that by June of 2025, so June of next year, at the beginning of summer, I'm probably gonna have like, I would say probably three team members who are like regularly in my business helping me. But the goal is right now is to get HoneyBook set up, because obviously that is, the home base for taking care of contracts, invoices, all that stuff. Content on Instagram, because that's where I'm doing a lot of promoting. I'm also needing to focus on Threads and building community there. But also I'm trying to figure out a good strategy for taking people from Threads and correctly directing them to where they need to go, where they'd be the best fit in terms of what businesses that I offer, the services I offer. So I'm working and playing around with that. But yeah, that's kind of like just where I'm at. I thought that this episode would be just really good to kind of give an update of where I'm at with this, because this is a new venture. Even though I've built a business, I've built several businesses now at this point. Yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. Thanks so much for tuning in and kind of just listening to me ramble about kind of the updates of my latest business ventures, and I will chat with you next week.